Mike's Out Club. Whatever happened to my rock and roll? Well, near the end of the show, just time for the re-education of Karl Revisited. Still got Nick Cave to come, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Now, Karl, you read a quote book. What did you learn from it? Tell us some pearls of wisdom. Just keep it down to one or two, your favourite things and why you like them.
Right, well, you said just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Right? So I wrote a couple down last night. And what I did, so they weren't boring, right? I've sort of...
Don't think you can ever be boring,
No, but what I've done, I've took, like, different ones. So I've took a good one, that I think, yeah, that's a good quote, that was worth putting in a book. I put one that isn't really a quote, so I don't understand it.
Oh, yeah?
One that isn't clever. and a funny one. So a bit of variation all out of one book.
Oh, how long did this take you? What did you do? Did you sort of like sit?
About half an hour last night.
And did you sit sort of like quietly at a desk or something?
No, just in the lounge with the telly turned down.
Oh, right.
Just to give a bit of light to the room. Just had it on book, turned down.
Have you figured out lights yet?
So, so the first one, never heard of him. This guy called Dean Axon.
Right.
And this is a good one. He said, the memo is written not to inform the reader, but to protect the writer.
That's good, yeah.
Stuff, that's very good.
That's
Very, relates a lot to, you know, office life and so on.
Yeah, modern world and that. Right, so then, thought, yeah, right, so I wrote that down because I liked it, and that's what he said to do. Second one, isn't really a quote, it's more of a poem.
Okay.
So how does that work?
Well, that's okay.
Just read it.
Right, well, it's about suicide.
Okay.
Right? Razors pain you, rivers are damp, acids stain you, drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful, nooses give, gas smells awful, so you might as well live.
Lovely.
That's from Dorothy Parker.
I'll tell you what.
It is, yeah.
I hate it. I hate that.
Why?
It's nothing to me, that.
I think
and what is just a sort of weak, shallow piece of mock comedy.
This is why I did it in that order, because that's what I thought.
It's sort of like a zany vicar would write from living in Frome when he's about 55 and get it published in the. I hate it.
All right, so you're saying you're not a fan of Dorothy Parker's work, right?
Yeah.
Now the next one, Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
Right, he's known, isn't he?
Yes.
Look what he comes up with. All art is quite useless.
Well, that's what's up with that?
Well, it isn't. I did art.
No, I know, but it's. Go on next.
But how has art helped you? How has it been useful to you?
It was a bit of a. It's one of the only things I like doing at school.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When I made that little clay man, fixing a car.
Yeah.
You made a clay man fixing a car. I forgot about that.
How can he? I think that's stupid, and especially that it's gone in a book.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's easy to diss things.
Yeah. It's harder to right. Exactly right.
I don't think art is useless, by the way. But then you don't have to agree or disagree with some of these things. Some of them, you know, sometimes it's just their thoughts put eloquently or poetically, isn't it? And it's just,
just to provoke a reaction as much as anything.
Yeah.
Well, and the good one, Ozzy Osbourne.
I mean, sorry, but let's go back there. The irony is that is art. That he was an artist, wasn't he? So.
But you don't, okay, so you don't like Oscar Wilde, but you prefer Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, go on.
Ozzy Osbourne, cracking one this. Funny and educational. I bit a head off a bat the other night. It was like eating a crunchy wrapped in a chamois leather.
Genius. Oh, you're right, Karl. Yeah.
So, there's...
What do you like about that? The way he's described what it is like?
I think, yeah, if someone... I mean, you can imagine what it's like. Because I like crunches.
Yeah.
And a chamois leather's really chewy, so you can imagine that's like the skin.
So you like his descriptive writing?
The crunchy bit is like the bones and that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But you know, Karl, it's interesting because you've analysed Ozzy there, and in a way, that is the first step on maybe doing a new English GCSE.
Yeah,
you know,
you said why you liked it. You said because it describes you've never eaten about yourself.
Yeah, but my teacher, Mrs. Kane, if I would have come into school with, you know, a quote by Ozzy Osbourne, she wouldn't have been happy.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference between.
She'd go, right, Karl, get your horse and go home.
Well, listen though, we were talking about other quotes.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Do you know his one?
Yeah.
What one? Giant leap for mankind.
Do you know it wasn't meant to be that? You know, it says, there's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right?
Yep.
It was meant to be, this is one small step for a man.
Right.
i.e.
Yes.
me the individual, on a microcosmic level, one giant leap for mankind. And he mucked it up, because if you say, this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, man there means mankind.
I know, it's embarrassing.
So you shouldn't give people, he's not a trained actor.
That's true.
He's more of an astronaut, to be
Has he
honest.
won any awards, Rick?
No, there are no awards. Is he BAFTA nominated? Don't think so.
Well, listen, right, he said another quote as he got back into the rocket. Have you heard about it?
Go on.
Well, we run out of time, and I'm just wondering whether it's worth saving as a bit of a teaser for next week.
What did Neil Armstrong say as he got back into the rocket?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
away.
something like, that was boring, wasn't it? The mic's not still on, is it?
Yeah.
They're not still listening.
Well, that's what I was saying to you. He could have said that, and it would have
That's
still
not
gone down.
cheese.
It would have still gone down as an amazing quote, wouldn't it?
Well, listen, I think you should save it, Carl.
You tosser, I was meant to go
No, I'll tell you what we'll do, Carl. We'll squeeze it in before the end of the show, because Ricky, you got to play your song for the lovers.
Oh,
we should
yes.
play this.
I don't think we'll fit it in. We might have to save it.
Don't worry, we'll see what we can do.
Well,
Let's
next
play,
week, by the way, you've got happiness quotations, a collection of thoughtful words and beautiful paintings. I'll just give you an example of one. Happiness is a perfume you can pour on others you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. It's lovely, that, isn't it?
Brilliant.
You can't be happy with that. This is Nick Cave and the Bad Seed, from the Boatman's Call. It's a beautiful song. Any song that starts off, I don't believe in an interventionist God, is alright by me. And this is Into My Arms. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Into My Arms. Well, that's it. We've run out of time.
We have indeed.
So no time for, Carl's quote. That'll have to come next week.
Yeah, we'll save that for next
Neil
time.
Armstrong. Well, I hope you, enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Alright, Rick, come on, sound a bit chirpier. It's not that depressing.
Well, yeah.
Sports next. You know how excited you are?
Go on.
You love the sport, do you?